Hello, you are tuned in to iGlobal's DiwaliFest with me, Anila Dami, and we're bringing festivities from across the UK to your homes. And now, in an exclusive interview, I'm going to be joined by Greater Manchester Mayor Andy Burnham to talk about Manchester's ties and relationship with India. Hello, Mr. Burnham. Thank you very much for joining
Hello,
us and wishing you a very happy Diwali.
and happy Diwali to everybody in Greater Manchester, around the UK and around the world. It's amazing to be part of this event, so thank you very much, Anila. Great to be with you.
Thank you. And it's an incredible event. And of course, with the coronavirus pandemic and with the lockdown, people are having to celebrate in a very different way this year. So we're doing everything we can to bring the festivities to their homes. So let's start with the launch of Manchester Museum's South Asia Gallery. It's up and coming. And what does it mean for the ties of, Manchester's Indian community with Greater Manchester?
It's a really big deal. We're so excited about it. So this is the UK's first dedicated gallery to South Asian culture, history, people's stories. It opens in August 2022, so we're really building up to it. It was such a privilege to be out in India last year with the museum, Manchester Museum, and the Partition Museum, because they've been doing a lot of joint work together, and it was just fantastic to hear them talk about that at a reception in Delhi at the British Embassy, the British High Commission. It was absolutely fantastic. So it's a lot of groundwork is going in, Anila. This is going to be not just a museum that tell the story of the people who came to Greater Manchester all those years ago, but also a performance space to celebrate the vibrancy of Indian culture today. So we're really excited about it. I said when I went to India last year that it was really out of respect for all of the thousands of people who kind of built our city region into what it is today, who came from India in the past. And we are very much hoping that the new gallery will take our kind of partnership and relationship with India that step further forward.
And why Manchester and why in 2022? I mean, why has this project come about now? Is it your inspiration from visiting India?
No, it's more driven by the museum, but and many of our obviously really well known, high profile people of Indian origin who are working in Greater Manchester, very proud of their roots. Benita Kane has been very much a part of this. Vikas Shah, I don't know if people know Vikas. Dr. Kailash Chand, one of the leading lights in British medicine, who's a great friend of mine. So there's so many people who are prominent in Greater Manchester life who rightly have said, well, where's the place that tells our story? The story of our parents, our grandparents who came here and in many ways sort of sacrificed so much, but invested in Greater Manchester. That story needs to be told, and it isn't told enough. And I think that's the inspiration really behind the gallery.
And you mentioned your trip to India last year. How did you find it?
Honestly, I just loved it. I mean, it feels like a lifetime ago now, given how we've been living this year. But
Gosh, I bet.
first
Yeah.
trip, absolutely. Mumbai, Bangalore, and Delhi. I was really blown away by it, to be honest. I just loved every minute of it. Somebody who loves cricket, it's great to be in a country that has cricket as the number one sport. That was the first thing that really struck me. You turn on the television and you just see cricket, which is great. Obviously, just the vibrancy of the cities. But the thing that lives with me, and even now, is just the warmth of the people. I don't think I've ever felt that in a country before. The friendliness, the warmth. Wow, really quite something. And I'm planning to return as soon as I can.
Oh, I think we all are. Um, Obviously, you've been very vocal during the coronavirus pandemic and with Greater Manchester going into tier 3 and the dispute with the government before the new nationwide lockdown. And South Asians and the Black and ethnic minority community in particular have been disproportionately affected by COVID-19 across the UK. What would you say to British Indians at this time when Diwali is such a prominent festival in their lives, in their homes, and for big families that the Indian communities do have? What would you like to say to them at this time?
Well, I feel for everybody, to be honest, because I think you said it, Anila, at the start. This isn't the Diwali that people would have wanted. It's a really tough time for everybody, and you're right. Communities, the Bangladeshi community, Pakistani community, Indian community in Greater Manchester have been particularly affected by everything that's happened this year, and we're very conscious of that in Greater Manchester. And coming out of it, we want to kind of go further in challenging the inequalities that we still have within our society. Now, Greater Manchester is a beacon of if you like, diversity. We believe in it. We see it as our greatest strength. It's a city of equality, but it's not equal enough yet. And I think the way in which the virus has affected different communities is related to the nature of people's work. So there are still many people of South Asian origin working in the highest risk professions. So let's say within the taxi industry in Greater Manchester, or within social care, or some of the professions that have been hardest hit by the virus. And housing is not as good as it should be in large parts of Greater Manchester, and we need to improve that. So I would say to people, just to answer your question, that we understand how tough this year has been for you. We know this isn't the Diwali you would have wanted. I wanted to come on today to show that we kind of understand that, and we're with you in spirit. And the things I've spoken about today, the visit I made last year, the gallery that's opening, in my view, it's important for me to show how much I respect what people of Indian origin have contributed to Greater Manchester, and it's out of respect for the ancestors of people who came here and the community today that we resolve to do more on all of these things going forward, and to build our relationships, tackle the inequalities, but also have a strong, positive relationship with the modern India. And I'm proud of the Manchester-India partnership. Actually, it's a new body we've created, which is really deepening relationships from a business and a people-to-people point of view.
Mr. Burnham, I am so sorry about that. This is what happens when you try and celebrate Diwali online. You get all these internet connection issues. But you were talking about, you were sharing some hope at this time, and talking about those ties, and how the Asian community, and particularly the British Indian community too, at this time during Diwali, have been affected by COVID-19.
Yes, sorry if we're building a digital Greater Manchester, but I'm sorry if it's not completely there yet. But no, we really do kind of send a message of sort of solidarity. Really, we know this isn't the Diwali everybody would have wanted, but and we know it's been a really tough year. But it's just a simple message to say we're thinking about you today. We're celebrating with you, and the Festival of Light, I think it's never been more needed than in this particularly dark year. And I won't make this political, Anila, but I do feel the world might have just taken a little step down a more harmonious path in the last day or so. So I'm feeling more hopeful that the spirit of compassion, collaboration, friendship that Diwali is about maybe is taking a little step forward today.
Very interesting. Mr. Burnham, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. Thank you.